Superman is a 2025 American superhero film based on the character from DC Comics. Written and directed by James Gunn, it is the first film in the DC Universe, DCU, produced by DC Studios and the second reboot of the Superman film series. David Corenswet stars as Clark Kent/Superman, alongside Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gathegi, Anthony Carrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabella Merced. In the film, Superman must prove to the world that he is their protector after billionaire Lex Luthor enacts a plan to turn public opinion against him. Development on a sequel to the DC Extended Universe, DCU film Man of Steel, 2013, began by October 2014, with Henry Cavill set to reprise his role as Superman. Plans changed after the troubled production of Justice League, 2017, and the Man of Steel sequel was no longer moving forward by May 2020. Gunn began work on a new Superman film around August 2022, after previously turning down an offer for such a film in 2018. In October, he became co-CEO of DC Studios with producer Peter Safran, and they began work on a new DC universe. Gunn was revealed to be writing the film in December. The title Superman Legacy was announced the next month. Gunn was confirmed to be directing in March 2023, and Corenswet and Brosnahan were cast that June. The subtitle was dropped by the end of February 2024, when filming began in Svalbard, Norway. Production primarily took place at Trilith Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, with location filming around Georgia and Ohio. Filming wrapped in July. The film takes inspiration from the comic book All-Star Superman, 2005 to 2008, by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, among others. Superman premiered at the TCL Chinese Theater on July 7, 2025, and was released by Warner Bros. Pictures in the United States on July 11. It is the first film and second overall entry of the DCU's Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Superman received positive reviews from critics and has grossed nearly $233 million against a $225 million budget.
Plot.
30 years ago, Jor-El and Lara Lorvan sent their infant son Kal-El to Earth to escape the destruction of their home planet, Krypton. Raised as Clark Kent by adoptive human parents Jonathan and Martha Kent in Smallville, Kansas, the Kryptonian gains incredible powers from the sun, inspired to heroism by Jor-El and Lara's farewell message, half of which was damaged on the journey. Clark introduced himself as Superman, the most powerful metahuman on Earth, to the world 3 years ago. Clark maintains his secret identity and a job as a reporter for the Daily Planet in Metropolis, where he works alongside Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane, the latter of whom is in a relationship with Clark and aware of his secret identity. 3 weeks earlier, Superman had stopped an invasion by Borovia, an ally of the United States, of the neighboring country of Jarhanpur. Billionaire Lex Luthor assures General Rick Flag Sr. and others in the U.S. government, who wonder if Superman might be a threat, that he can kill Superman if necessary. Superman loses his first fight against the mysterious Hammer of Borovia, who cites Superman's involvement in the war as the reason for his actions. However, unbeknownst to the world, the Hammer is actually Ultraman, who is controlled by Luthor using drones. Krypto, a superpowered dog being pet-sat by Superman, takes an injured Superman back to the Fortress of Solitude in Antarctica, where he is healed with concentrated solar radiation. Luthor later secretly invades the fortress alongside Ultraman and the Engineer, steals the farewell message from Jor-El and Lara, and decodes it in its entirety before abducting Krypto. As Superman and the Justice Gang, a team of heroes composed of Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl, battle a kaiju created by Luthor as a diversion, Luthor broadcasts the entire Kryptonian message to the world. To Superman's shock, in the second half of the message, his parents urge him to conquer Earth and take as many wives as needed to restore the Kryptonian race. Public opinion turns against Superman, and he voluntarily surrenders to the government for questioning. Because of Superman's power, Flag gives custody of the hero to Luthor. Luthor imprisons Superman in an artificial pocket universe where he holds his enemies, including Krypto and the metahuman Metamorpho. Using Metamorpho's baby son Joey as a hostage, Luthor forces him to create kryptonite to render Superman powerless. Luthor's girlfriend Eve Teschmacher, infatuated with Jimmy, reveals that Luthor secretly backs Borovaya in return for half of Jarhanpur's territory, providing photographic evidence of the plot before being imprisoned herself. Luthor interrogates Superman using Malik Ali, one of the latter's supporters, as a hostage before killing Malik. This prompts a horrified Metamorpho to help Superman escape, and the two free Joey and Krypto. Lois convinces Mr. Terrific to help find Superman, and they enter the Pocket Universe, rescuing the heroes and taking Superman to the Kent farm to recuperate. Furious at Superman's escape, Luthor has his men increase the power to the Pocket Universe reactor to lure Superman out, creating a rift that begins to tear across the city. While Green Lantern, Metamorpho, and Hawkgirl stop a second Boravian invasion of Jarhanpur, Superman and Mr. Terrific battle the Engineer and Ultraman as the growing rift approaches Metropolis. After defeating the Engineer, Superman unmasks Ultraman, revealing him to be a clone of himself. Luthor is so intent on defeating Superman that he refuses to close the rift, which splits the city in half. Superman and Ultraman engage in a long and violent fight at the rift, with Superman winning by trapping Ultraman within a bus being pulled into a black hole within the rift. Superman and Mr. Terrific go to Luthor's headquarters to shut down the reactor, closing the rift. Meanwhile, Lois and Jimmy reveal Luthor's scheme to the public, clearing Superman's name. Hawkgirl fatally drops Vasil Gurkos, the president of Borovaya, from a large height, and the Justice Gang is celebrated as heroes alongside their newest member, Metamorpho. Luthor and his cohorts are all arrested, and everyone trapped in the Pocket Universe, including Eve, are freed. Later, as Superman recovers from his injuries at the Fortress of Solitude, his cousin Kara Zor-El drunkenly returns to pick up Krypto. To relax during the healing process, he watches footage of his childhood memories in Smallville growing up with Jonathan and Martha as his parents.